Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Super excited to be here with you. Today's video is actually gonna be super different. I don't even know where to begin because it's so different. So, I've been thinking about like where do I want to take the channel? What do I want to talk about? And although I love digital marketing and I'll continue to talk about digital marketing, I also want to document my life and I want to introduce aspects of my life, like my thoughts, things that I'm going through, things that I think about all the time. I think that's super important for me so that at some point in time I can look back at these videos and be like, oh, that's what I was thinking then, and this is how I'm thinking now, and just use it as like a timeline to show my growth over a certain period of time. So whether it's a year or it's 5 years or 10 years, it'll be there, it'll be documented so I could see it, and that has always been super important for me. So today I want to talk about Kendrick Lamar's new album, and one song in particular, like not the whole album. I'm not a big fan of Kendrick Lamar, but like this new album and these new tracks have definitely resonated with me. I tried listening to him before in the past, but at the time the message, it just didn't resonate, it didn't click. Well, I had a friend of mine who was like, yo, Kendrick Lamar just released his new album and it's sick. So I was like, okay, let me try and listen to his content again. And this time, like, a lot of tracks resonated, and the beats are so dope. Like, I really like the beats that he chose. Like, I be listening to those beats, whether it's in my car or it's in my headphones, and I'm like, that beat, feeling it. So yeah, so while I was going through the album, the song stood out to me. It's called Father Time, and in the song he keeps talking about, like, he talks about the way he was raised and the impact of his father in his life, right? And part of the lyrics, like, he keeps saying daddy issues, and for me, like, it resonates so much for me because there's things that I'm learning on my journey and understanding fatherhood and how important family dynamics are in your childhood. So the things that I know about fatherhood, as he describes his childhood and how his father was a role model in his life and how it impacted his life, like, for me, it's like the way I imply it is like he is talking about how it kind of made him have unwanted experiences. So it's like he became cool, or he noticed through the journey he's on and where he is now is like, some of the things that his dad said to him made him cool. It made him detached. It made him emotionally unavailable. And although those are some of the things that he's kind of insinuating from the songs, and if I'm wrong, like, you could definitely let me know in the comments, but that's like how I interpret it. And it's like, so let me pull up some lines so that I can show you what I'm talking about when I reference him being cool and detached and emotionally unavailable and stuff like that. So it says, looking for I love you, really empathizing for my relief. So what I got from that is because he was looking for his dad's approval and his dad to say, like, I love you. Like, there were times that he just needed that from his dad, but he didn't get it. It's like he probably was mirroring that in his circumstances as well, in his situations. A next one is for detachment. He said, protect yourself, trust nobody, only your mama and them. This made relationships seem cloudy never attached to no one. So if you took some likings around me, I might reject your love. No, that's detachment, right? Because his dad told him not to trust anyone, only rely on your mom and them, right? So obviously, going through his life with these words from his dad being repeated to him, he'll be like, yo, I can't trust that person. This person is cool and whatever, but yeah, let me stick to myself. Let me not get too close to this person, you know, because you never know what somebody could be thinking about, how they could be plotting, scheming or whatever, and thinking about your demise, right? And that's not even true, right? But I get what his father was saying to him, and I'm gonna get to those, to how I interpret what his father was saying to him. I'm gonna get to that shortly. The last one is him being emotionally unavailable, and in this line he says, daddy issues, hid my emotions, never expressed myself. So I could imagine that in his relationships, and especially his romantic relationship with his wife Whitney, right, she might have wanted him to be more vulnerable, and because of what his dad told him, he didn't know how to do it. There's another line where he says his dad told him never, I think it's along the lines of don't cry and don't express emotions and stuff like that, which is the same thing, because his dad was telling him emotions won't help a situation, you know. And I get what his dad is saying, but for Whitney, his partner, where she would need him, whatever they're going through, she would need him to communicate so that together they can overcome whatever challenges they might be facing within that current moment or whatever. It seems as if the advice from his dad caused him to shut down or withdraw or something like that. And people do that, and it's through our past experiences why we would resort to those types of behaviors and tactics and so forth, because we're just trying to protect ourselves. And he would have been doing this whether it was consciously or unconscious, and it was because of what his dad told him. So it's if my dad, as a kid, if my dad tells me something, I will take it as if he's telling me this for a reason, you know. So when he's in conversations or whatever with Whitney or anybody, it doesn't just have to be his partner, and it gets vulnerable where he has to show more emotions, he'll kind of remove himself or act in a way that doesn't make him respond in the way that his dad told him not to respond, if that makes sense. Hope this makes sense. Like I said, this is the first time I'm doing a video like this, and this is just coming off the top of my head. So these traits that he would have developed from the advice from his dad, I think would have caused some challenges in his journey, his experience with life. And that's exactly what he's speaking about. When I listen to the album, there's a lot of healing that he's been through. He's gone through his realization or his awakening, overcome his trauma and stuff like that, and realizing a lot of the stuff that he held on to wasn't serving him. And I'm sure his father's intention wasn't to impact him in a negative way. When I listen to it, I really resonate with it, because the lessons that his dad is teaching him are actually really good lessons that he needed to know as a young adult coming into manhood. I mean, I feel a lot of these lessons I've learned recently, I thought that I knew more than I actually knew, and I thought that I was further in my journey, and then I realized that I wasn't. And the stuff that I've learned recently, when I hear things like Kendrick's message, like, it resonates so deeply. So I'll share with you what I got out of listening to the lyrics out of the song. So when it comes to emotions and controlling his emotions, in one of the lyrics, he referenced like something about getting fouled, and his father was like, don't worry about fouls, right? Because it's like he wanted to cry, but his dad was like, there's no space for crying, like you can't cry. And the reason why a man should be in control of his emotions is because as a man, we should always be making rational or logical decisions, because anytime we make a decision, or most times when you make a decision from a place of emotions, it's going to be impulsive, and you're not going to look at all the circumstances or all the possible outcomes, which are as much outcomes as you can look at, which can be dangerous for you, because that could put you in unwanted compromising situations. And all of this is because you made an emotional decision, and this is like throughout your entire life. Like, a lot of the violence, a lot of people ending up in jail and doing crazy things, it happens because it comes from a place of emotions and not a place of reason. And as a man, you have to be able to set aside your emotions. Now, I want to make this clear. It doesn't mean that you don't have emotions. It doesn't mean you don't feel emotions. It doesn't mean that you don't walk on your emotions, right? It just means that I had this experience. It makes me feel a way, but although it makes me feel a way, I have to now use this information to make a decision that is gonna serve me in a positive way. It's gonna help me to go forward. How does this information help me in a positive manner? So that's what I got from it. So the next thing his dad was teaching him that I got was resilience. His dad was like, his mom was saying that, can't you see that the boy is exhausted? But his dad was like, no, he has to understand this from now. Like, yes, he might be tired, and tired and exhausted is two different things. But even when you're tired or exhausted, you still have to do what you have to do. If it has to be done, you still have to do it. So his dad was teaching him resilience. There's another line where Kendrick asked his dad why he's going out to walk. Like, something happened. I think he was sick, or I can't remember exactly, but something happened. And naturally, like let me not say naturally, like, you would think that the person would take time off, but no, his dad got up and he went to walk. He was like, yeah, you gotta go and you gotta hustle, because there aren't silver spoons, you know what I'm saying? And what his dad was showing him was like, no matter how challenging a situation may feel, again, emotions, no matter how challenging a situation may feel, you gotta persevere. You gotta persevere. You gotta develop that mental toughness. You have to do what you have to do, regardless of how you feel, regardless of the circumstances. If this is what's required, then this is what you have to do. And as a man, like, I'll give you an example. I'm supposed to shoot at least one video every single week, right? And I need to up this up to 2, to be honest. But sometimes I don't feel like it. I don't want to do it. But in actuality, regardless of how I feel, I have to do it. Even today, like, I saw myself fiddling so much, doing all sorts of things, procrastinating and stuff like that. But I'm here because I know that I have goals, and the only way that I'm gonna attain my goals are by doing hard things, doing things that I don't want to do, doing things when I don't have motivation. We'll talk about motivation in the next video, because that's a topic by itself. But it's about creating the mental fortitude, the willpower, discipline to do hard things, to do things even when you don't want to do it. So that's what his dad was trying to teach him as well too. the last thing that I picked out that his dad was trying to teach him was self-reliance. So there's a line, and it's not coming to me right now. I don't know why it's not coming to me, but basically along the way I can see how his dad was teaching him that he has to, it was when his dad was telling him you could only rely on your mom and them. Don't trust people. Don't be gullible. You know, like, yeah, this person may be good to you or whatever, but you can't rely on that person good energy. You can't rely on anything that's about that person. You can't rely on anything that's outside of you. You can't rely on the external. You have to rely on yourself. And that's super, super important as well, because every hardship, every experience that you're going to go through, it's only going to be you. You're going to need to speak to yourself. You're going to need to do the task yourself. You're going to need to hype up yourself, motivate yourself, do whatever it takes to take action, to do whatever it is that you need to do. And in actuality, only you can do that. And the quicker that you realize that you can only rely on yourself, the quicker it will propel you to achieve the things that you want to achieve, because you'll know that if it's gonna get done, it's gonna get done by my will. It's gonna get done by my efforts, my actions. You know what I'm saying? So I think that's another powerful message that his dad was trying to instill in him. And I really like the song for those reasons that I explained, because in my journey now, I realize, and this is funny because I don't know if, like, I don't have the recall to remember like certain things like that my dad was telling me. I mean, I didn't even grow up with my biological dad to begin with. I grew up with my grandmother husband, and I treated him and he treated me as if he was my dad. But I guess not being my biological father, like, I guess there was still like this bit of friction. It's like he poured into me, but at the same time, it's like, because I'm not biologically his child, like, he would still walk a thin thread, I guess, to ensure that like he's not crossing any boundaries based on like how my grandmother, my actual biological grandmother, is trying to raise me, you know. And now that I'm learning these lessons, I'm seeing how important they are and how important it is for men to have their dads in their lives. It's super, super important. And not just like, you don't just want a dad that's present, and even that has its value, but you want a dad that's going to be active in your life and teaching you these lessons. Like, it's super, super important. Like, these lessons that are learned or not learned can be the difference between your success and how far you can go in life, because there's certain things that a man will teach his son that his mother won't be able to teach him. I'll give you an example of this. So I'll go back to the album. So you see, and I don't want this to be taken the wrong way, because there's equal value in having your mom in your life and your dad in your life, and you just need both parents. But women, because women are more nurturers, when Kendrick was tired, his mom said he was exhausted, and she basically wanted to nurture him, take care of him, right, and cuddle him. But if his father wasn't around and that occurred, then what would happen is, when Kendrick got tired or challenged in other situations, he would just fall back and be like, I'm tired, I'll do that next time, you know. But whereas now, with his dad in his life, his dad would be like, "Now you could do this, you can push further." He said, there's one of the lines where he said, "You have an option. You can be a word starts with a B, R, you can push past the margin. Pushing past the margin, for me, that resonates with me. Like, you can go further than you think, whatever your limitations are, and you can then from there achieve your goals, but you're only going to get it when you push yourself. And then his father was like, these lessons that I'm teaching you are important, you need to learn this now. Like, this is what the father was saying to his mother, like he needs to learn these things now because they're going to serve him in his future. And when we look at Kendrick, look at how successful Kendrick is, and I can clearly understand why he's so successful, and it has a lot to do with his dad, you know, and these lessons that his dad was instilling in him. So I just saw how long this video is, and I didn't expect it to go so long, so I'm gonna stop it here. And yeah, this was super interesting for me. I really enjoyed shooting this video, and I'm gonna be producing more content like this on the channel, and it's gonna be a mixture of lifestyle, business, and personal development. I think that's where I want to go, because that's a true reflection of my life. As much as I love business, I love personal development, and these thoughts are things that I've always wanted to share. So here I am now, and yeah, like I said, I'm gonna wrap up this video, so I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.